Could buy $10 million.
We're done. We're ready.
Will it fly?
No. I do that so I can sync the audio. You know when they do the sound clap?
Take your stand.
Today's topic is why Hyrox for Maven. Before we get into the details of Hyrox, we're going to talk about why we felt like it was a natural fit to affiliate with Maven. Blah, 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 blah. Do it again, because you heard the door slam.
Yeah.
At least it wasn't a toilet flush.
Heather, you can't go to the bathroom for the next 30 minutes.
So we're going to talk about why we thought affiliating with Hyrox was a natural fit for Maven over, let's say, affiliating with other fitness organizations such as CrossFit. So Taylor, you took the L1 back in the day, probably like one of the first ones in New Jersey, right? And you chose after that not to affiliate with CrossFit, but when Hyrox came around, you immediately...
Wow, that's good memory.
Yeah.
I also took the L1.
Yeah, did you recertify?
I don't have to yet.
Oh, you don't have to yet.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You took the L1, you did, but then you chose to not affiliate with CrossFit at that time, which was back in, 2010?
Yeah, so I don't even remember what year it was. It was a long time ago, and there wasn't many boxes around. But I decided to do it because I heard about it. I actually had never done a CrossFit workout before I even went to the course. But I heard about it, I read on it, and philosophically I was like, man, it's kind of the coolest thing I've seen in fitness up until now. And so I decided to go take the course and get certified. And I did my first CrossFit workout, the Fran, and some other workout, I don't remember, for the first time at the course. In my corduroys and regular dressy sneakers, almost died. But yeah,
Do you remember what the Fran was?
Yeah.
What your time was?
Oh no, I was dying. I don't even think I...
Wait, what is a Fran?
I did the Fran later.
All right, so for those of you unfamiliar with CrossFit, Fran is one of the benchmark workouts called the girls' workouts. It is 21, 15, and 9 reps for time with barbell squat thrusters and pull-ups.
That was my first time doing squat thrusters in my life. Yeah.
And now we do it all the time at Maven.
Yeah. Anyway, so I went to the course. I was kind of set on affiliating before I attended the course because there was no really that many boxes around at all. And so I was going to do it, but then I took the course, and for reasons I'm probably not going to get into because it's just it's too much to go into, I decided not to. And so I got certified, but I decided to make Maven not an affiliate of anything. And so that was that. And then fast forward now, Hyrox, I'd say. Same thing. I think when I kind of looked into it, and I've been hearing about it because I have some friends that have been doing it for a while in Europe, and then I met another guy on vacation who owned a gym, and he was really into it, and he was competing, and then I just looked into it a little more, and I was like, wow, this is definitely in line with what Maven's all about, and our programming, and our just everything about it. And I was like, we got to do this, and I think this is something that really stands out to be something that even grows even more in the very, very near future. So we wanted to kind of jump on it, and so we decided to go with it. Yeah.
One of the major differences between CrossFit competitions, the games, and a Hyrox race is that it's similar to a marathon. It's very standardized, same format each time. Why is that something that we feel like is a good fit in terms of what the race is and how it suits our style of training here at Maven?
I mean, I think it's very objective, right? It's any, like you said, very similar to marathons. You know the distance that you're going to be running. You know the stations that you're going to be at. So you can have, plenty of time to prepare for that. And you have no surprises. Obviously venue to venue might be different, but it's always going to be the same race as how it's set up now. And I think that's very comforting for people to know that there's nothing really unknown about the actual race itself in terms of the stations.
Yeah.
Whereas CrossFit, it's kind of every competition is different. You're using a bunch of different equipment, obviously different reps, weights, different movements, and you kind of go into it a little bit of that unknown feeling, that anxiety of what is going to be popping up in this competition I'm signing up for.
And that's kind of what makes it fun, but at the same time, it can be intimidating for the general population who may not be practicing a lot of those skill movements that you typically see in CrossFit, which is like gymnastics, movements, handstand walks, all that stuff. So we felt like Hyrox is more accessible in terms of its movements. Maybe talk a little bit about that and how the accessibility of Hyrox to the everyday person.
I think, I mean, I was going to add with the whole CrossFit and the Hyrox differences. I think I think Hyrox has a much, as you said, like a bigger, broader appeal. I think CrossFit is very intimidating. I think Hyrox could be intimidating, but CrossFit's very intimidating, and there's much more predictability with Hyrox. I think anything competitive on the CrossFit side has always been very unpredictable. I think they don't typically release the actual workout on until a week, or was it a week or a couple of days before? I think it was a couple of days before.
For the games?
Yeah, for the games, right?
Yeah, the games,
Yeah.
you sometimes you don't even know the workout until you get on
for
the
the
floor.
games, right?
Yeah, but we're not talking about the games, but even
yeah.
for classes,
The night before.
Yeah, night before, or even the day of.
But the open, when they do the open, they release the workout a week
The
before?
night before.
Night before?
So it's Thursday, so they do Thursday, and then they usually have like the Friday Night Lights and all that.
Yeah.
And then you don't find out the next workout until the next week.
Yeah. So I think it's just the fact that like most people, I think, love predictability. They want to know, they don't like the unknown. They don't like the, the uncertainty of that, anxiety and all that. So it's stressful enough to compete, but then not to know, I think, but because Hyrox got rid of that unpredictability, and I think it's just, that's why, like everybody's just jumping on and everybody's enjoying it. There's much less, obstacles to actually making a decision to go forward with it. So, yeah, it's been exploding, right?
Yeah, and I think it offers a lot easier entry point for the average person. Obviously, with any kind of fitness programming, like you can scale it down as much as you need to based on the person's skill level or experience. But in terms of kind of like reaching your peak, I feel like Hyrox has a little bit less of a difficulty in terms of getting to that peak, right? Because you have to get really good at running, and then you have to get really good at the stations. Whereas
Yeah.
CrossFit, if you want to be good at CrossFit, you have to train in very skilled and varied movements that take years and years to master.
Right. Very high skill. So we've been recruiting for our Maven team, right? So we have kind of like a small team, kind of like we're gonna get the lay of the land in Washington at DC, right? Which is coming up in March. All three of you guys are doing it.
Yeah.
And then we have our big June team that's going out in New York City. So how has recruiting been? Like, have you guys met with any resistance? And if so, like, what are the common misgivings that people might have in terms of wanting to, or kind of like, I don't really want to participate?
I wish Hyrox would provide commission. The amount of time and energy that I put for just nudging people and messaging and forwarding different videos to them and everything. I mean, it's been work, but there's also people that reach out and they're like, I just send them like one video and they're like, how do I sign up?
Yeah.
And then but most people, they're like, they just want to go with the relay. Like everybody's relay, and I'm like, I know it. You're gonna be bored. You're gonna be bored. You might have fun, but then I think you're gonna have much more fun if then with doubles.
Yeah.
And so I think everybody's just going with the conservative because it's the first time. But I'm like,
Which is okay.
yeah. But again,
Intimidation.
here's the thing: it's predictable.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like you could
know
train
what you're gonna get
very
into.
intensely or consistently for everything that's involved in that race. And so I just feel like there's no reason to be too nervous about that. I think you could just go with doubles minimum for most people, I think. But
You guys are doing doubles as a team in DC.
Yeah, DC.
How have you guys been training?
I mean, we kind of do our own training most days out of the week, separate training, but then, we usually try to get together with some of the staff members too, at least like twice a week, like big group staff
I'd say,
training.
yeah, at least twice a week probably.
So coming from CrossFit, I've been incorporating a lot more running, but also just really kind of honing in a lot of the different movements that Hyrox race has. So it's a lot of volume, especially with the running and the different stations. But I mean, outside of day-to-day, week-to-week volume, it really hasn't changed that much. I'm still training about 5 days a week or so, most weeks, but it's just different volumes and different movements that I'm getting into now.
And Gio, for those of you guys who don't know, Gio is a coach here at Maven and a physical therapy aide as well.
Yeah.
Right?
And coach.
Now podcast co-host. But also he has his own podcast, which is more popular than ours.
Thank you for the plug.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Floor Space or something.
Floor Spacer Podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Gio, you've been training with Taylor for like the last few months.
And Ryan.
And Ryan
Yeah.
also, yes. Actually, you guys have been teaming up a lot, right? At least
Me and Ryan.
during staff workouts?
Oh well, yeah, here and there.
Okay.
Yeah, depending on what the schedule allowed for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how are you preparing for the race? Is it mainly just Maven?
Yeah, it's mainly just Maven. I mean, I come here consistently and I do whatever they say to do because they're the pros. And so really it's just how I'm preparing is really more mentally than anything else than physically. I believe it all starts with the mental and then that translates into the physical. So that's how I'm preparing.
Yeah, maybe we could talk a little bit about that, like mental fortitude in terms of the Hyrox race. I mean, I feel like it's not as intimidating, like you said, because there's a predictability about it, but maybe that mental aspect of wanting to really do well. I don't know. Are we expecting to podium in DC?
I don't know.
Yes.
Sure, I don't know which podium, but we can find a podium. Yeah.
We'll have to bring our own boxes. Yeah, I mean, you know, Dave, it depends on the personality you have, right? Because if you're somebody who's just kind of very easygoing, Hyrox is, you know, any competition is going to be a lot of fun, right? If you're someone like me and Taylor, where we're a little bit more competitive, it may not be fun how some people describe it as fun.
Gio and Nina, you know.
But we have fun. We have fun, like pushing ourselves and pushing each other. So I think, you know, our mental approach to it is a little bit different because, you know, we want to get out there and put our best effort forward and really try and, you know, perform well in here. I think doubles probably has a little bit more pressure, at least for me, because you're with another person. Like you have to make sure you're keeping up with them, make sure you're not slowing them down, make sure you're pulling your own weight. Whereas solos, you can kind of just go at your own pace. And for somebody who's really maybe not competitive and wants to really get the true Hyrox experience, solo might be better for you than doubles because you don't have to worry about, you know, keeping up with somebody or, you know, pulling someone along.
I'm doing doubles. So I think, you know, I think there is that pressure in terms of not wanting to disappoint your partner, but at the same time, you can partition it as, like, you can choose how you partition the reps, right?
Oh, yeah.
So Robin's quite the powerhouse. I'm really happy with
You're
that.
gonna have her do all the work and then
I'll just run alongside her. No, but yeah, that's a good point about choosing between the different divisions.
But talking about the programming that we do in here, you know, to kind of, as you said, you know, preparing for Hyrox, for me, it really is just about like every workout, even prior to the whole Hyrox affiliation and all the things that we heard about Hyrox. Now it's just, I think Maven and the staff workouts, we've always been about, like, I don't design so that I accommodate people who are sore here and, you know, or weak here and that kind of thing. I think our programming is just about, like, number one for me is that mental part. I think most people's impediment or anchor to progress in fitness is typically not physical. I would say that it's always the ability to tolerate and then to be able to stay and remain consistent with what you do. I think those are the things that kind of lack in most of us. And so I think when you program a program that's really geared to be somewhat uncomfortable, you know, that's, I always to tell these guys, I say, hey, when I design a program, right before we start, I want to feel butterflies and anxious. If I don't feel that, then I feel like the program's not good. And it was like, you know, that's a little twisted. There's not much, you know, science to that. You know, why do you program that way? And I'm like, because I think that it's not the physical that usually gets in the way for me, as well as a lot of, many others. But I think it's the mental, and I love building and working on the tolerance. I think that, for me, that's challenging, is to be able to mentally get through a tough workout more than the physical part. And so I think I've just done that all the time with the program. So we just put a little Hyrox twist to the program, but I feel like it's Maven's program, staff programs have always been like that.
So
That's why.
you've always been ready for Hyrox.
I feel like
waiting
we
for
have
this
it.
moment.
Yeah,
Okay.
we've been ready. Yeah, it's just I'm like old now and broken. But if I was like your age, I'd be like, all right, we're going pro.
So one of the major differences between Maven and like the movements is that with the Maven style burpee is a strict burpee, right? You do the strict push-up.
Yeah.
But with Hyrox, you're allowed to have your thighs on the ground. You don't have to do the strict push-up, similar to CrossFit burpee. How are you living with yourself?
He dies a little inside every rep.
Every time his thighs touch the ground.
And I still don't know how to do
Why?
it. Like yesterday, we did 80 burpee bro jump burpees as the first thing as part of the workout, and I called myself like I don't even know how to do the step thing. You know, the stepping
the
up.
step two.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm doing them the way I do them, and it's probably taxing me out faster. But yeah, I got through it. You know.
Subtle flex right there.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
it is what it is. You know, I'm
Yeah.
just good at burpees.
So Hyrox is growing really fast. I remember when I first heard about it, one of my CrossFit friends was preparing for Hyrox. I'm like, hi, what? But now it's like everywhere. Events are selling out really fast. We had the opportunity to have our members purchase the New York City May-June race days earlier. And then when it was open to the public, it sold out. Like there was like a 900 person wait when I was logging in.
900?
Yeah, because I didn't buy it during the sale. Anyway,
I tried.
I was still I was still thinking about it. But anyway, it was selling out super fast. Yeah, the appeal, like maybe I think we touched on this a little bit, but I mean, what was your reaction when you saw the sales like flying by and you were still trying to get people and then they couldn't?
Oh, I was frantically messaging everyone because I knew that it was going to sell out,
Yeah.
and I knew New York City was going to be very popular. But I didn't know it was going to. Most of the spots were going to sell out within like 4 or 5 hours of going public.
Yeah.
That was crazy to me. When people were telling me that they couldn't get it, and I was like, "What?" And I would look, and I'm like, "Oh my God, sold out, sold out, sold out! Everything was sold out." And so it was. Then I just started texting all the guys, and because that was the only thing that was available was guys open and guys pro, right? Double.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, guys, just grab it. Just buy one. I'll find you a partner. Like, don't worry about it. We're 6 months. We'll find you someone. If you want to do it, just grab it.
Yeah.
And so actually, three members, friends, whatever people, they did. They grabbed it. And so you know, we're gonna find them partners. But I think next year what we'll do is Maven will like during those 48 hours, I might try to grab a bunch of more spots and for the people, for our members, yeah, because
For the
it's hard,
people?
yeah, for them to decide that quickly, I think is just not
Yeah.
possible. 48 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I even remember last year when Hyrox started coming up on like social media and stuff, and then the New York race kind of popped up on, I don't know if it was like my TikTok or Instagram, and I like checked it out, and I was like, oh, this kind of looks interesting. And I think it had already been open for maybe like a couple weeks, and I didn't decide to do it because then we signed up for the CrossFit competition, Battle by the Bay, and yeah, me and Nina, and then I went back to look at if there's still spots available, and it was already sold out. But like that's over weeks, and now that it's blown up so much, to sell out in 4 or 5 hours,
Crazy.
And I think they added an extra day. I think they added the Friday.
Yeah.
Compared to
3
last
days.
year.
Yeah, 3 days instead of 2.
Yeah, so it's crazy. It's blowing up. I think we're all really excited about it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. But I feel like we should talk a little bit about like what the race actually entails and kind of how the different divisions are kind of split up. And we kind of glanced over that a little bit at the beginning.
You want to do it?
Okay, fine. so Hyrox, it's a fitness race. It's primarily running. You're running a total of 8 kilometers.
About 5 miles. Right?
Yeah, 5-6 miles.
That was
6 and change.
4.5. 6?
8 kilometers.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'm.
5K is 3 miles.
Yeah. 10
That's
to
So 8
6.
kilometer. Yeah. Okay, so 5 and change.
Yeah.
You're running a kilometer, and then you go to a station and complete X amount of distance or reps of a certain exercise. So I think it's run, ski, run, sled push, run, sled pull, run, rower,
Sled pull, broad jump burpees,
broad jump burpees.
then run,
Forgot about that
then
one.
1,000-meter row, then run, then 200-meter
that.
farmers, run, and then sandbag lunges, 100 meters, then run, and then finish off with 100 wall balls.
Yeah, so that is what you'd perform at every single division, at every single race. So it's all the same at every place. The only thing that differs is the map for the running. But with the different divisions, solo, obviously you're out there on your own, you're doing the whole race, all the volume, every station, every run. With the doubles, you're doing the same thing, but you can split the stations with your partner, right? So you're running all the runs together, but you can split up the stations however you see fit. So that kind of goes a lot with our programming when we program partner workouts, where you can kind of split up the reps, and maybe if you have one person that's stronger at one station, they take more, and vice versa. And then the relay, which is kind of the easiest entry point, is you as a 4-person team are completing all 8 kilometers in 8 stations, but you're splitting it up by twos. So each person is doing 2 runs and 2 stations. Then you can split that up kind of however you want to. Like if you want to do staggered, so like you do every other station with the person going, you can, or you can have one person do 2 runs and stations right in a row. So I think that's why it's the most appealing for people, is that it's obviously a quarter of the work.
Do you know what most of our members chose?
They are actually New York City. I think it's pretty evenly like split as far as solo, doubles, and relay. Washington D.C. we purposely did all doubles, just to go and have fun and just kind of scope it out.
Have fun.
But, yeah. But
Whatever your
fun, he
definition of fun is.
but yeah. So I think with the different races, but I think there's also just to say like. You will have differences in the weight that you're using. Reps are the same and everything. Distance is all the same, but the reps are going to differ whether you're an open division or pro division. Okay, and so just to
We are doing the open division.
Yes.
Just to make that clear.
I try
Just to
to
start off.
nudge Ryan to do pro on New York City, but I say for this one we're like, all right, let's just do open.
I just want to get through one solo, and then maybe we'll consider doing pro.
I'm like, let's just undergo a lot of pain.
Fun, he said.
Do you feel like there's pressure because, you guys are Maven to perform really well? I don't even know what a good time is, to be honest. Like for each of the divisions, like what's a good time for solo? What's
The
a
average
good
is
time
an
for
hour and a
double?
half for like in a race, they say. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, I think your first time, hour and a half.
for everybody, all divisions.
Yeah, like the average. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, relay is probably going to be faster.
Okay.
But I feel like if you want to get like a respectful time, like you're shooting for an hour. Relay, you're shooting, under an hour.
I see. Pro too? Also?
Pro, probably, I mean, those guys are
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah.
Same thing, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the top pro is what, low 50s,
Yeah.
right?
Like I remember seeing like 55.
Maybe upper 40s. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
That's fast.
Okay,
This is insane.
that's helpful to know, like what the average is.
But is there pressure, being that we're Maven?
Yeah.
Like individually on us, or just like as a
Just like
group?
you guys are going out, you're kind of like getting the lay of the land. You're gonna come back with tips. I don't know. Do you feel like pressure? I think you kind of always do. You always want to do well.
I personally, like, I just put a lot of pressure on myself anyway. So if we're competing, like, I want to do well, right?
I mean, you're kind of putting Maven programming to the test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, essentially.
We got something to improve a little bit, like this is what we've been doing. It really is in line with our programming anyway, in the time frame that we train at. And so, yeah, I really think we should do well. I think we'll do well. Yeah, those of us who train intensely and consistently, I think we should be ready, yeah. Like Gio is gonna kill it with the solo in New York City.
Yeah.
Is this your first fitness competition?
Yeah, first
like
ever.
of anything?
Yeah.
First ever, yeah. And I feel pressure even during the training that we do here just to prepare for it. So
Yeah.
I think
definitely gonna feel
tomorrow's
pressure going
Murph's
up
gonna
to
be
it.
more painful
Oh,
than the
yeah.
higher.
Tomorrow's Murph.
We're doing that.
No, I'm doing
He's doing,
punishment.
yeah, so for our fantasy football punishment, he
okay,
unfortunately came in last place, and he has to do a full Murph with a weight vest.
Weight vest.
Wow.
And he's only worn a weight vest once, I think, right?
Yeah.
Twice.
Twice?
2 or 3 workouts.
Yeah, like 2 or 3. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
First Murph ever.
by yourself too.
Oh, Gio.
It was either that or a beer Murph.
Yeah.
So definitely choosing the way best. So yeah,
It's nice to be young.
Lesser of two evils.
I'd rather not poison myself while I'm sweating and dying.
Okay, I'm gonna take a turn. So speaking of getting started with Hyrox, we're gonna be hosting our third physical fitness test here, February 1st, Saturday, 7:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. And it's a great opportunity for anyone to kind of like dip their feet in the waters of Hyrox, get a small taste of what it's like, and also we have benchmark times to tell you. But like if you finish this test within a certain time frame, it should give you a good idea of what your fitness level is and which division you would be best for you. So that's going to be coming up.
February 1st.
February 1st, yeah.
7:30?
Yep.
The event's free.
The event is free.
Premise.
Yeah. And then for anyone who has done it before, you can retest your time, right? So
Yeah.
I think one of the good things about that was we actually saw this one guy from our first PFT finish it in a ridiculous amount of time. We're like, wow. Bo, yeah.
Bo knows.
He finished in like 18
18.
minutes, and you finished that one in...
In like 30 minutes.
Yeah. But you
My
did
first
well.
one.
You did well the second
Yeah,
time.
second
You
time
did
I did
better.
better. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the wobble balls.
But he also then went pro, right, or something like that.
No. I
Or he
think so. What I
quit.
found was there was I thought he had like won the whole thing in Europe.
Oh, wow.
But we I think he or I don't know if I messaged him or someone else, but they told me that it was in his age group.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
nice.
He
you
placed
should
second or
sell.
third in his age group.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
so-
wasn't. And then his he's not over 45 or 40, and so
Mm-hmm,
it's also like the masters division, I think.
Nice.
That's good.
They're still very impressive.
Yeah, very impressive. Very impressive.
Good
Yeah,
job, Bo.
very impressive.
Come back.
Other things is we have Hyrox specific training every Thursday, but again, Maven programming itself is a good fit for Hyrox races. Is there anything else you guys want to add in terms of plugging our stuff?
Well, I think the PFT, like people still get intimidated by PFT tests, you know?
It's intimidating.
Yeah, it's just, but just know that you're coming in, you just fill out a card, and you're given a time when you start, right? And you're just starting with a bunch of people, but you're not competing with them necessarily. You're just going at your own pace. You're just doing the thing at your own pace, and you don't have to feel like, and there's a timer, nobody's really watching you, nobody really knows where you're even at. And so there's no pressure of like any of that. All you're doing is just going along and seeing how long it takes. So really just, it's not bad at all. It's not bad at all, so come by and just give it a shot.
So you would say it's for any fitness level?
Yeah, anyone. And then let's say that you can't do something, we'll be there to modify for you anyway, too. So there's no pressure at all, and it's not as official and crazy and competitive and medals and that kind of stuff. It's just a free event we're holding so that you're able to be exposed to some level of the programming that makes up Hyrox.
Did you guys see that Puma is collaborating with Hyrox?
Saw that.
Are we getting
Oh,
the
they're like a
sneakers?
major sponsor. They're the major sponsor.
They've been, right? I thought they
Yeah,
were.
they've been.
Their sneakers look
Hyrox
cool.
is from Germany, right?
Yes, so is Puma.
And so is Puma. That's probably what that
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
The
their
Deutschlanders.
Yeah, because I still don't know what shoes to wear. Like, I feel like is it running
They
shoes?
seem to more go towards the fluffy, cloudy, sneakers.
Yeah, I've been doing like some research with shoe because I'm like in the same boat. I don't really know what shoes to get.
Yeah.
I'm getting
But
carbon plated.
there seems to be more. I'd say almost everybody is wearing more like running shoes. But I think the biggest advice that I've seen online is make sure the shoes have some sort of like tread on the bottom.
Okay.
Like
For
grip. right?
yeah,
For
'cause
sled.
especially for the sled,
Yeah,
because
I
you
was
don't want to
thinking
be spinning your wheels on that sled, especially if you're doing it solo. So I think that's like the biggest thing. But other than that, like I think everybody's wearing running shoes.
Do we get a discount with Puma?
No, tier we do.
Okay. Have you guys heard any feedback on our podcast? So this week we have new microphones. I'm trying to monitor it, but I'm scared still that it's going to be blown out. We'll see. Hopefully it won't be. But have you guys gotten any feedback in terms of like what people want to hear?
They love it. The masses love it. And they're
Are you
asking
just
for
sending?
more.
Are you just sending it
Uh-huh,
to people?
Are you sending the clips or the YouTube?
They're just being nice. They're like, oh, thanks. That was really nice. Yeah, that's a good podcast. Yeah. keep
We
it
do need
coming.
to come up with a name.
Do we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to come up with a name. He's got a cool name.
Wait, what was it again?
What's yours called?
Oh, Floor Spacer Pod. I think you're talking
Yeah,
about.
find him on
like-
YouTube. No, we need a name for the podcast.
What?
Maven Podcast.
I've just been calling it Maven
Comment down
Podcast.
below. What do you think our name should be?
Yeah.
Best one
I
wins.
feel like Gio's gonna have more viewer from this than us. It's okay. We got good gear.
Yeah.
Subscribe and follow. Next time we come with better lighting. All right. I think that's it. Right?
Oh wow.
Did you guys want to add anything? I mean, there's a lot to talk about, but I feel
Yeah,
like it's too much.
I don't-
It's already 12:57.
I had a couple questions, but
Oh!
I didn't. I thought we were just getting started.
I haven't stopped it. What were your
I
questions?
tried to rope you in a couple of times.
We can cut it.
I don't know if you noticed that. I was trying to rope you in a couple of times because I felt like
'Cause
Gio was just sitting there.
I was aggressively.
I was.
aggressively hosting. I don't have like a relaxed podcast personality.
You were
Like,
the
You have a reporter
lowercase
personality.
co
I'm like, let's
host.
get going.
No. I was letting Nina. She was going. I'm like, I'm not trying to interrupt that. So.
But also, you're more foreign to this topic. Like
Yeah.
she's a lot more familiar with like CrossFit and
Yeah, but that's why I had a bunch of questions because I didn't really know.
Oh.
But I wasn't sure if I really.
So you're
was
like the
supposed to-
newbie
Just insert
Yeah.
amongst the
yourself.
group.
Okay.
Do you want to add anything pressing right now?
Well, I mean, it's kind of like too late. But, but I was
You
gonna
can't
ask.
edit. Unless she makes it into one of those little clippets and that goes
Oh,
up.
we could use it
Okay.
for
That's
clips.
what it's called, a clip it.
Is that really called?
No.
Oh, shoot. Snippet.
Snippet. No.
Clip it.
You know,
Clip it and sip it.
one thing I did read, I don't know if it's true, but Hyrox stands for Hybrid Rockstar.
Oh
Did you
wow.
know
Did not know
that?
that.
Hybrid Rockstar. I googled
It's a little
it.
cheesy.
Is it?
It is.
I feel like everyone is trying to be a hybrid athlete, though.
Oh, yeah, the hybrid athletes.
Yeah. Well,
Everybody's a hybrid athlete these days.
That's true. Everybody.
Everybody wants to be one.
The bodybuilders are becoming
we've been
hybrid.
one.
Huh?
Leading the way, we've been one
Yeah.
before this whole hybrid thing,
Yeah.
Is it CrossFit hybrid, though? Like, with all the movements that...
I mean, it's
I
the
feel like the
most- it's
workouts
the
are
most
too
hybrid.
short. Though. I feel like it's a little bit too short.
Okay.
I think for like we're affiliate programming.
No, yeah. So I feel like the elite people, like they're very like
Points at Ryan.
yeah, they're like.
Yeah, I'm elite.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying like these guys, they're a little more like,
Mine is
they're
elite.
more diversified and they're like good at everything
Okay.
kind of. But I feel like the newbie CrossFit people, they're like still like they're really deconditioned because their
Okay.
workouts generally are what 12 to 18 minutes, right?
Yeah.
I feel like anything beyond that, they die. They can't like go and do a 5K and do okay.
Yeah,
They
I think
would
that's
die.
the main difference between like the sport of CrossFit
Yeah.
versus the average person doing CrossFit. Is that your CrossFit Games athletes, like you got to be able to swim a mile, you got to be able to lift 300 pounds, you got to be able to do Fran in under
Murph.
whatever Murph.
In the sun.
Are we
the sun.
recording right now?
We're still
We
recording.
never
we are.
stopped.
Oh, okay.
This is podcast after hours.
After
Yeah, but for like the average CrossFitter, like, they're probably not running, super fast miles. They're probably not the best endurance athletes. They can maybe do like maybe a couple handstand push-ups or muscle-ups, but they're not getting into the realm of the elites that are going to the games and stuff.